Oh, I'm getting my ducks in a row, beloveds. Didn't quite have it exactly the way I wanted it, but sometimes it takes a minute, and that's okay. If it takes a little minute, I'll just have to spend a little minute to get it right. I appreciate your sacred patience with me as I get these ducks in a row. I think we probably gonna be about as setting up a little bit differently than I usually do, so it's a slightly different thing, and the camera's a little cockeyed here. The mind got a little perfectionism in him, but that's good too. Everything is God. Everything is divine. All is well in the kingdom of this sacred moment. All is divine in the kingdom of this sacred moment. So I am Astarius Miraculii, and welcome to Ascension Live. And the subject today is milking the solstice miracle. Milking the solstice miracle. You know, there is a miracle within the resonance of solstice, and we want to reach in there and milk that miracle. I'm going to start with a few vocal overtones and then a prayer of intention as to what we are wanting to co-create together in this now moment. Beloved Creator, God, Goddess Absolute, out of the vastness of the all that is, we call you to come forth and awaken from the deepest cellular memory of our being, for when we summon Creator Source, it is a summoning from within. When we call forth the resonance of God, We are summoning God from the inner sanctum of our being. And so, beloved Creator, we are in that recognition as we call you forth from the deepest recesses of our own being to facilitate us in milking the solstice miracle, gaining all of the frequency of exaltation, all of the frequency of blessedness, all of the frequency of peace and of love and of joy and of benevolence that is available in this solstice experience. We are grateful for your divine presence. We are grateful for being the very microcosmic essence of God, Goddess, Absolute. And all is well in the kingdom of this truth. All is well in the kingdom of this truth. And so, beloveds, thank you for co-creating with me with the sacred intentionality to milk the solstice miracle, to milk the miracle from within the recesses of solstice. Solstice is ripe with the resonance of the frequency of the miracle. And so we call it forth. The miracle frequency of solstice. We are grateful. So very, very grateful. Solstice is the first day of winter, when the sun enters into Capricorn, 0 degrees of Capricorn, upon winter solstice. And the winter of life has an association with the sacred void and the womb of creation. The womb of infinite and eternal potentiality. When the springtime comes, we engage in the deliberate intention of planting the seeds and setting forth what it is that we are wanting to bring about. But prior to the declaration of our intentionality, there exists in the womb of creation the eternal potential reality of that we even have yet to call forth. Everything exists as a formless embryo in the womb of creation, as well as in the womb of our soul. You know, this is a very unique time, this particular solstice, because there are so many different things going on in the world. You know, this solstice time has traditionally been one of the most joyous times of the year. We have so many different celebrations. We have Thanksgiving leading up to it, then we have Christmas, then we have Hanukkah, we have Kwanzaa. We have so many different celebrations from so many different traditions in the world. And because of the nature of what is going on in the world, we are face to face with a very, very large shadow. And yet when we go to the central core of the shadow, we find pure light. And that's what it is to milk the miracle out of solstice. We've just had a full moon. Be sure and check out my video called Full Moon Alchemy. Major messages in there. We're still feeling some of the resonance of the full moon. And also, we have the Saturn square Uranus that is exact tomorrow, the 23rd of December. So there's a lot of energies that are at work right now. And so in order to milk the miracle out of solstice, we must engage with our imagination. Imagination is our greatest power, because imagination is the means by which we are able to be where we're going before we get there. To be where we're going before we get there. When we imagine something, we are in relationship with the predecessor of the manifestation of whatever that something is. But reality has to start in imagination. And imagination emerges from that womb of creation. When we engage with deliberate creation through imagination, we are calling forth the inner magician. One of the primary keywords in imagination is magi. And so imagination is I, the magi in action. I, magi in action. I, the magician in action. We wield the power of the magician within us by the wielding of the imagination, by seeing what is needed, that our prayer will be heeded, and seeing it as though we've already succeeded. And so what is it that you want, beloved? What do you want for yourself? You know, here we are during this time, so many world challenges. And God knows we have known other times during this particular season where it was more joyous worldwide. Well, every time is now. And all of the yester joy and all of the future joy is available unto us by virtue of the wielding of our imagination. To imagine that we are in the embrace of the most exalted times that we have ever known in the season of solstice, the season of Christmas, of Hanukkah, of Kwanzaa, of the entry into a new year. We want to commemorate by virtue of our imagination those great exalted times of the past. We call it forth to harmonically converge with this now moment. To superimpose the exaltation of the past over this now moment. To commemorate the exaltation of the past and bring it into the now memoration of this moment. To up-level the frequency of this moment. But even the moments of the future, we can also pre-memorate. We use the imagination to pre-memorate the greatest world exaltation and the greatest exaltation of our individual beings. And we allow ourselves to be where we are going before we get there. To be the blessedness of bliss even before we get there. To be the blessedness of supreme creative expression even before we get there. We allow ourselves to align with the feeling frequency of the greatest success that we will ever know. We allow ourselves to align with the feeling frequency of the greatest joy and blissify that the world will ever know. We allow ourselves to align with the feeling frequency of planetary ascension, where Mama Gaia takes flight on the wings of ascension. And all of those of us who are inhabiting Mama Gaia are able to fly along with her. And even though that represents a time that is yet to be, in truth, every time is now. And so we milk the miracle of the exaltation of our future world. We milk the miracle of the exaltation of our individual being. We see what is needed, that our prayers will be heeded. We see it as though we've already succeeded. I'm going to offer now some tones, and these tones are transmitting the resonance of the greatest exaltation, the greatest creative expression that you will ever know, and the greatest exaltation that our world will ever know. Ride with me on the wings of these tones. Ascended Clan, we're calling you to guide us on our way back home. We deeply yearn to now return and claim our ascension throne. the fifth dimension and beyond, inheritance above the sky. To heaven's call we now respond, in higher realms forever fly. Ascended clan, we ask for this not only for ourselves. Let every being upon this earth partake of heaven's wealth. Even unto earth herself she also would return. To end the madness of this flesh, a fire within us burns. Please help us to remember that we all are innocent, and by mercy and compassion unto heaven we are sent. Resurrection of ascension, and God is found in man and woman, and we all are family members of the great ascended clan. The love of God within our hearts has healed and set us free. A love that is because I am, therefore I love me. Among the great ascended clan, we are eternally. I'm making my way back to my roots, one cosmic breath to ascension absolute. The time has been long since I have been home. I am hearing the call of a heavenly song. O infinite being in me, dream awake, and among the ascended my place I will take. In trials of the flesh I have been enmeshed, and in spite of it all I still have been blessed. After hurting my brother and dishonoring my clan, my part is still vital in God's master plan. I'm ending self-hatred, transcending mistakes. A brand new agreement with life I now make. For hiding myself I paid a high cost. It's time to get back that which I lost, for ending my fear and the will to attack. Heaven is open and taking me back. In infinite being I am now awake, and among the ascended my place I do take. Spirit of Miraculii, from which all miracles come, I summon you from the depths of soul, my ascension now begun. Access code to every blessing, guide to love way up on high. Melt away all things distressing, and with spirit we will fly. Mirror of my infinite being, showing me the way back home. The God in me, forever free, to take my place on heaven's throne. Cosmic rays of sacred sun, shining truth that all are one. So when I am greatly blessed, the prize is shared by all the rest. We are bringers of all miracles. We are born out of the light. We are seeing with the inner eye to launch into ascension's light as the co-creative partners through which all the blessings flow. Then the miracles of Miraculii on every being we bestow. The miracles of Miraculii on every being we bestow. And I want you to know that Miraculii is a mantra, even though it's my legal last name, Miraculii. But before I knew that as my name, I knew that as a mantra. Miraculii means from which all miracles come. You know, when you say Miraculii, you are invoking the oneness of the wholeness of miracles. You know, the eternal, infinite, omnipresent, all dimensionality of miracles. Miraculii. That's why I wear that name, so that I can be an instigator of miracles for myself and also for all others. I thank you for remembering, beloved. I also have another video I'd like to encourage you to look at. It's called Alchemize the Holiday Blues, because many people have the holiday blues during this time. But if we go to the central core of that which feels painful and that which we feel sad about, you know, we find the miracle. We're able to milk the miracle out of the shadow, milk the miracle out of the blues. The miracle is always there, and the miracle is a mirrored reflection of that which exists within the innermost recesses of our own being. Because when we decode the word miracle, it's the mirror call. It is the calling forth of the miracle. Because whenever a miracle shows up in your life, it is a mirrored reflection of that which exists in the inner sanctum of you. All miracles are the product of our innermost being. A miracle is not something that is bestowed upon us from out there. A miracle is that which is an emergence from inside. So remember that and be the sacred blessedness of that. I'm going to be at 7:30 Eastern Time doing my Facebook Live, and I'll be working with the same subject, but it's going to be a slightly different twist. It'll be new frequency. But even when I say the same information, and this is really important to know, because sometimes in the ego we say, oh, I already know that, just because we've heard those particular words. But you could hear the same words 1,000 times and you would receive 1,000 versions of those same words. Because every time a thing is spoken again, it's spoken with brand new frequency. So it doesn't matter that we sometimes hear a thing more than once. And it creates that grounding of that vibration down in our being. So I am Astarius Miraculii. My website is astarius.com, astarius.com. I am available for intuitive astrological readings, as well as sound healing transmissions with didgeridoo, Reiki, and vocal harmonics. I also teach Reiki, located in Atlanta, Georgia. I do sessions in person if you're in this area, but 80% of my business is virtual. So I work with people nationally and internationally. Astarius.com, astarius.com. I also receive donations. I thank you all who've been very kind and gracious. I receive donations by way of Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, as well as a donation button on my website. So let me see what's in the chat here, if there's anything that I can and I'm meant to respond to. I love you so much, and I invite you to partake of some of my Justafari, because I am so full of Justafari in this now moment. Okay, let me see if I can call the chat back. It keeps disappearing. Where you at, chat? Okay. What beautiful music. Yes, beloved, thank you. I love this. Okay. Also, let's see. Any questions? I don't know why my chat just disappears like that. Okay. Would you say answers to all our questions are within us each? Yes, the answer to any question that you ask, or the answer to any blessing. All blessings are pre-given, and all prayers are pre-fulfilled. See, and that's what the solstice teaches us about, because solstice is the womb of creation. It is the womb of infinite and eternal potentials and possibilities. All of the possibilities of that which could find their way into manifestation already exist as formless embryos within the womb of our being, within the womb of creation. That's what creation story meant when it said, so God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, said, let there be light, and there was light. But the light as a formless reality was already there in that void upon the face of the deep. Every blessing that could find its way into crystallization already exists in that void, in that darkness. So you want to move upon the face of the waters, which is to move upon the face of your emotional body. It's using the imagination, the I magi in action. Imagination is the power by which we wield the force of creation, because we have to see it first. What the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can definitely achieve. So all of the blessings already are. I don't care what it is. It's already fulfilled. See, all blessings exist simultaneously, like all realities exist simultaneously. The difference being, all realities are not simultaneously activated, just like all blessings are not simultaneously activated. See, so when it said the earth was without form and void, it was a simultaneous reality. But it was when Creator said, let there be, that it found its way into activation. But we have to utilize the imagination before we can have the activation. And in the imagination, we are in the supreme celebration of the fulfillment of that which we desire to come into manifestation. That's what I mean, beloved, when I'm always saying, be where you're going before you get there. And there's simple ways in which we see that reality playing out. Let's say you're going to go on an amazing trip, and maybe the trip's not for another month. But all of the time leading up to that trip, you are so pumped up and so excited that you are feeling the reality of being where you're going before you get there. Because you are in the mental, emotional celebration of the reality of that vacation, even before you're physically on that vacation. So we just want to apply the same thing to what it is that we want in life. You don't wait for the manifestation to be in the celebration. You be in the celebration beforehand, that then brings about the acceleration of the manifestation. So right now, beloveds, let's prememorate and celebrate and imagine our world beyond any crisis. Our world in a state of exaltation. Our world wherein what prevails is brotherhood and sisterhood and peopleocracy. Our world where it is void of corruption. Corrupt leaders exist no more. Envision a world where corrupt leaders have received the memo of light and awakened in consciousness and up-leveled in their beingness. and come into the resonance of golden behavior. I know that's what we all want. So let us see what is needed so that our prayer will be heeded. See, beloved, the fulfillment of every amazing creation that you want to bring forth. Feel the feeling frequency of the joy of that creation. If it's a relationship that you want, feel the feeling frequency of fulfillment. Be a billionaire of relationship fulfillment because you are a billionaire of being. See, we can feel good just choose to. We don't need external excuses to feel good. You know, having glorious appreciation. See, we are pregnant with every blessing that will ever come to be. Embryos within our soul, even though our human eyes have yet to see. So we see with the eye of mind and heart in the infinite realms of the great unseen, choosing wonderful feelings without concrete reasons, and all the riches of the kingdom are now ours to redeem. This is the great femifestation, which is the womb of creation, the primordial cause of all manifestations. Thank you for remembering who you are. Thank you for loving yourself. Thank you for knowing that the universe would be utterly incomplete without you. Thank you for knowing that you are an unduplicatable blessing unto the all that is the universe and even creator source. Thank you for allowing your self-esteem to skyrocket through the roof of the cosmos. Thank you for loving on yourself. I am Asterius Miraculii. I love you with the passion of heaven. My website, Astarius.com. ASTARIUS.com. So always have many miles on your smile, wiggle in your giggle, tingling in your boots, laughter ever after, putt in your strut, wings on your butt, always rising up at the top. There's room for all. It's just the bottom that's crowded, y'all, and so it is, and so it shall eternally be. So in 5 minutes, I will be doing my live on Facebook. You might want to join me there because the frequency will definitely be up-leveled and multiplied, because that's how I roll, and that's how God rolls, and that's how the universe rolls. I love you so much.